Welcome to CSET Biology TCP. I am Mr. Wilson from the TCP Academy. You can find us on YouTube at CSET Biology TCP, or you may find us on the internet at tcp-academy.teachable.com. We're going to be looking at the January 2022 paper that was, and of course, it's the paper one. I am Mr. Wilson, and I am wishing for all students the best in your exams. Now, we would have seen a paper being released with some answers, and I have gone through the paper, and there were a few errors, and I would have made my adjustment to them. We're going to be going through this paper really quickly, as we are going to be publishing about 3 papers, one behind the other, that the students can have them for exam today. So the first question we want to look at is, of course, question number 1, and I'll explain. Item number 1 refers to the following diagram, which shows 4 organisms labeled P, Q, R, and S are collected during an ecological study of an abandoned plot. Now here, we're having a spider, P, Q, ant, R, grasshopper, and S, a scorpion. When I saw this, I thought it was a very easy question because CXC number 1 question is usually about the insect. Of course, the arthropod. But when I looked at the answer, there was nothing there for insects. The answer that was supplied said P and Q, but I disagree. And I disagree because an insect has body parts made up of 3 segments: head, thorax, abdomen, 3 pair of legs, and some may have insects. Some may have wings. Sorry for that. While for the spider, it is made up of 2 segments along with 4 pair of legs. The spider is an arachnid. The scorpion has what is called a cephalothorax. That's the abdomen and the thorax join, which makes the scorpion an arachnid, just like the spider. So the answer here is going to be D, P, and S. Moving right along. Now, this is a repeated question, and we are not going to be spending too much time on it. That's going to be number 2, answer there, A. Please slow down the video and read if you have to, but for the interest of time, we are going to be trying our best to make sure that we get you on time and this video is not too long for your exam. So we're moving right along. So we move on to question number 3. Last year, many students differed on their CXC exams as they were afraid of failure due to their level of readiness. This year, Mr. Wilson and his experienced team from tcpacademy.teachable.com is here to help you get exam ready. Subscribe for free to tcp-academy.teachable.com. We offer courses in CXC Biology, HSB, English Language, and many others. There are several offerings to each course. Enroll in one today. For question number 3, which of the following organisms can be collected using a line transit? The answer that was supplied was B. We disagree. The answer is, of course, slow-moving organisms and plant. Why slow-moving organisms and plant? It's pretty much textbook. Now, you are using a line transit to sample stationary and slow-moving organism across an ecosystem or as the ecosystem changes. Now, the line transit would not be suitable to sample flying butterfly and bees and wasps and so on. So for that reason, we are not accepting B. But we still give credit to the person who answered the paper. In no way our intent is to discredit this individual. Number 4. It refers to the diagram here that looks at pyramid of number. Which of the following pyramid of number best represents the feeding relationship shown above? We have A, B, C, and D. The answer correctly is A. And we're moving on very quickly. So we move on to a repeated question number 5. Our answer there is C. We're not going to be explaining. Number 6. The answer there is the egret. Now, commensalism, the egret and the cattle shares 2 awesome relationships. In one case, if the egret is eating the ticks from the cattle, that's mutualism. The cattle getting comfort, the egret getting food. If the egret is walking behind the cattle as the cattle walks through the grass and the egret is pretty much catching grasshopper and so on jumping, then that is a commensal relationship. And we move on to number 7. Item here, producer. This is a very easy one. And then we're going to be moving on to question number 8. We said it's going to be very, very quick. So number 8, our answer there is a repeated question. It's of course C as was supplied. 9, our answer there is going to be D as was supplied. Number 10, this is a new question, and we are looking at which of the following practice may be used in the conservation and restoration of any ecosystem. The options are restricting hunting season, planting of mangroves along the shoreline, and of course quarrying to remove limestone. Our answer of course is going to be 1 and 2 only. C there being the answer. We move right along. This is a repeated question and we are going to just skip 11. The answer there is going to be D. Number 12, repeated question. It's not a repeated question, but let me read it. Which of the following structure are found in both generalized and plant and animal cell? It's going to be cell membrane, mitochondria, and of course, vacuole. Number 13, which of the following organelle is directly involved in photosynthesis? That's going to be the chloroplast, number 13. Number 14, which of the following best describe the nucleus of a cell? It's new. It stores genetic information in the form of DNA. Best answer there. New question. Number 15 is also new. In multicellular organism, cells become different from another in order to carry out a particular function. This is called cell specialization or differentiation. Number 16 seems as if something was missing from the question. Which of the following statement best leave diffusion? I don't understand either, but I am going to go with D. Diffusion requires a concentration gradient as it moving from high to low concentration. 7. Which of the following organisms are autotrophs? Of course, the answer here is going to be seaweed. Oh wow, our manatee, they are suffering because of pollution in our water. Awesome. This is a new question on the paper and pretty much new to the human and social biology syllabus. The chemical equation for photosynthesis shown below is incomplete. What is X? X is going to be 6 CO2 or 6. Yeah. And then Y, of course, is going to be 6 oxygen. So the answer supplied there is correct. It's a new question. I will move right along. We are looking at a leaf, and this is a pretty unique question as it looks pretty much at the adaptation of a leaf for photosynthesis. But let us read the question because this is going to be very important. What visible characteristic of the leaf allow it to carry out photosynthesis effectively? Visible characteristic is the word we are looking at, not just any old thing, but it says what visible, what you can see. So it's held upright, you can see that, large surface area, and it has net venation. So of course we're going to be going with A as was supplied. And we are moving on. This is another new question. And new question, it reads number 20. We have a following combination of conditions about which of the following combinations of conditions and amount of product for the action of salivary amylase is. I think I read this wrong. Let me try again. Which of the following combinations of conditions and amount of product for the action of salivary amylase is optimum? Here we are going to look for where we have most of the maltose being produced. Now most of the maltose they are produced is 73, so that makes B the answer. Let's move right along. This is of course going to be another new question. New question in the sense that you would have done this for your photosynthesis lab, or if you're on BioJam on my website, then you would have gone to this lab. So it reads, item 21 refers to the following diagram which illustrates the result of an investigation on a well-watered destarch plant, which was left for a few hours in sunlight. And the diagram is as seen on screen. On screen. A likely explanation of this result is that the C foil prevented light from entering the leaf, and automatically that will cause the area to be destarched. So our answer there being C for 21. Let's move right along. Now we have 2022, and this is a repeated question, so we're just going to give you the answer. The answer there is D. You can read, pause, and read if you so desire. Now 23 is a new question, and it says the region of the tooth sensitive to temperature is labeled. Now we have the pulp cavity at 3 that is sensitive, but it's also true that the dentine is sensitive. You are going to make your value decision there. As usual, Mr. Wilson never make all the decisions for you. 24. This is an old question, so you can read on the screen as is. Our answer here is C, lactic acid. Number 25 is an old question, and we are going to just give you the answer here. It's going to be B for 25. I will move right along. We know you have examiner few, so we're going very quickly. Now, this is an old question, 26. We're going to give you the answer there to be B. 27 is also an old question. We're going to give you the answer there to be A. And of course, you can stop the video if you so desire. Now, 28 is also A. Last year, many students differed on their CXC exams as they were afraid of failure due to their level of readiness. This year, Mr. Wilson and his experienced team from tcpacademy.teachable.com is here to help you get exam ready. Subscribe for free to tcp-academy.teachable.com. We offer courses in CXC Biology, HSB, English Language, and many others. There are several offerings to each course. Enroll in one today. Old question. This very question was on the HSB May-June 2022 paper. So the answer here being B. Let's move right along. We move on to 29, which is a new question, and it reads, item 29 refers to the following diagram of a mammalian heart. In a patient with a certain defective heart condition, it was found that blood flowed from section I, or from section 1 to section 2 in the diagram above. This was most likely due to the malfunction of it's going to be the bicuspid valve. Bicuspid valve, that valve there between the left atrium and the left ventricle. Another new question, 30. Artificial immunity can best be described as immunity produced by deliberately exposure to a pathogen. A, we are going with the answer. 31. Which of the following statement correctly describes the xylem of a flowering plant? Now, the xylem is usually dead, or it is dead. So A there being the answer, it has lignified walls to support. So it's tough. That is what it is saying. So we move on to 32, and this is, of course, a new question. Item 32 refers to the following diagram of a cactus. Now, which of the following describe the function of the thorns? Of course, to reduce the rate of transpiration. 33 is also a new question. Which of the following option correctly matches the storage organs to their stored nutrient? So root there being starch, we have fruit, sucrose, and then the liver, glycogen. Remember insulin, glycogen, liver? All right, great. All right, so we move on now to item 34, where we are not in agreement with the supplied answer, but we are going to explain what we have. and might have been an error. We are in no way discrediting the person who wrote on the paper before. A student ate a highly salted snack and does not drink water. Which of the following describes and explain the urine most likely produced after a few hours? What's our answer here? Our answer is going to be C. The answer that was supplied was D. This is a new question. I will move right along. Item 35 is a new question, is an old question, and the answer is, of course, Item 36 is an old question, and the answer is, of course, A. Item 37 is an old question, and the answer is, of course, A. Item 38 is an old question, and the answer is, of course, B. In the interest of time, we are just moving on. You can pause the video if you so desire to read an answer. Item 39 is also an old question. Your answer there is A. Item 40 is an old question. Your answer there being A. Pause and look at the question if you so desire. Item 41 is an old question. It is on the 2021 paper, and if it's diverging, it's moving away, outward. So the answer here is going to be A. Item 42, old question, answer there D. Item 43, old question, answer there B. Item 44, old question, answer C. We're moving on. My system is logging somewhat. I'm sorry I can't do any major editing to this. 45 is a new question, and the female portion of a plant is called the carpel. That's from your textbook. 46 is an old question, answer there being D. 47, a new question, and I'll read. The transfer of pollen from the anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower of another is referred to as cross-pollination. 48, new question. Well, it was in the form of a diagram before. Now it's worded. So your answer there, let me read. One method of controlling the population of mosquito is by getting rid of all stagnant water. Which stage of a mosquito's life cycle does this method control? It's going to be the egg, larvae, and pupa. All those stages are in the water, so B there be the answer. 49, old question, is going to be C for your answer for 49. 50, old question, answer there is going to be B. 51, old question, answer there is going to be C. We disagree with the answer for 52, which of the following statement about meiosis is not true. Answer supplied was C. We agree with answer D. It doubles the number of chromosomes in gametes. Remember, the question asked about not. All right? In no way we are discrediting the person who answered before. We actually salute that individual. 53. A man with, oh, this is an old question. Your answer here is going to be B, codominant. 54 is an old question. Your answer there is going to be A. 55 is a, well, 55 is a new question, but it's pretty easy. I'll explain. Now, the gene for coat color in cattle shows incomplete dominance. So you would have heard about codominance, and I've always said to students, codominance and incomplete dominance, they might look the same way, but they're really different. So we're going to be looking at it here. So a purebred cow with red coat mates with a purebred bull with white coat. All the offspring have one coat. Which of the following would represent the genotype of the offspring? It's going to be heterozygous, capital R, and of course W. Remember, they are red and white, and we are using the allele red and white. All right, I have a video on this on my YouTube channel. You could just go there and look at incomplete and complete dominance or codominance. All right, here we go. 56 is an old question. The answer there is going to be C. 57 is a new question. Variation in genetic composition of an organism does not arise from growing a plant from cuttings. So there's no variation from cuttings, that is mitosis, asexual reproduction. All right, so we continue by looking at 58. 58 is an old question. The answer there is going to be D. All right, please be reminded that I am Mr. Wilson from CSEC Biology TCP. You can sign up with us for classes for biology and human and social biology. All our classes are online. The methods of payment, PayPal, Western Union, bank transfer. Our classes all start at 6 p.m. EST on weekends, and in some cases, we have early morning classes which start at 5 to 6. That is AM EST. So we move on to the other question, and the other question is an old question, and the answer there is going to be C. Remember, you can pause the video to read as you so desire. Number 60, I think, is a new question. Which of the following statement about genetic engineering and natural selection is correct? The answer there being A, genetic engineering can change the phenotype of the organism faster than natural selection. Remember, it takes a period of time. We could even think about the whole idea of allopatric and sympatric. Think about speciation. We could pretty much think about that. This takes us to the end of the 2022 January exam. Now, I'll just show you the cover because I don't want you to be going looking at papers that are not. So the cover here, you'd see we have just completed the January 2022 biology paper 1 exam. Thanks so much for watching, and look out for the other videos for 2021 and of course 2020. Get help with CSEC Biology SBA Labs and Human and Social Biology SBA Labs at tcp-academy.com. Tim had questions. He wanted to know where he could get help with his SBA Labs. His parents searched but could not find that experience. Tim also made some calls, however could not find the help he needed. Tim needed an experience he could trust to help him get over the hurdle of SBAs as success was in sight. He met the guys from tcp-academy.teachable.com and they designed a program to help him. tcp-academy.teachable.com was able to help him. So too, they can help you. Sign up tcp-academy.teachable.com for help with your SBAs in biology and human and social biology.